So, who's ready for another review? Hello there arty friends and welcome back to another video. My name is Huey and today we are unboxing and reviewing the new VK1200 tablet from Veikk themselves, which they very kindly sent me, which was super exciting. It's a whole screen tablet. So here is the standard smudge guard that you get with I think every tablet, Veikk or not. And this is the main tablet itself. It's not too heavy, but it's a little bit weightier than I anticipated since I'm used to getting these smaller tablets out of these boxes. But it has a really nice build, which I'll talk about later. Underneath the main tablet is a separator, which then contains everything you need, which has your pen holder here. It's the same as the one with the A15 Pro, where all your nibs will be included, and it comes with a little baggie of nibs as well, and there's another bag of nibs with the nib remover inside, so you're never going to run out of nibs, like, ever. So here is the all-important wires that are going to get this tablet working. So you plug the USBs into your computer and you there's another part that will plug into your tablet. Super easy, it's in the installer's manual and it's literally a case of plugging in two wires, and the tablet doesn't actually need to be plugged into an electric outlet. So there's the cleaning cloth, the driver download, and the setup manual, and more nibs. Do look through the setup manual because some screen tablets can differ, but it was pretty plain sailing for me. I didn't really need to go through it. And by now you may have noticed they actually send you two pens, which is really, really cool. So if you're someone who loses a pen quite a lot, then you have no worries and it feels great in your hand. Both of them are the exact same pen and have a really nice feel. So if you ever knock a pen off your desk, or you accidentally lose a pen, or you have a puppy who gets hold of it and chews it up, you don't have to worry, and you can see here both pens are completely identical and they both work on the tablet. I tested both of them. So there's a lot of things you could do, like have a sword fight with them, for example, with your friend. I have to say I really appreciated the detail of having two pens. Despite the extra pen, there is no stand with this tablet, but that was fine because I have an £8 laptop stand that I use for my tablet, and it's mesh, so like all the all the heat that a tablet might generate will sort of flow out of it. It would be nice to see a stand with these tablets. I think Veikk will be releasing one, but I know that the VK 200 and the VK 1560, well, that's 1560, I get, whatever. They do have stands inbuilt, but this one doesn't, but that's fine because you can pick up cheap stands easily. And here is the reveal of the tablet itself. It feels really nice. It is actually smaller than a lot of other brands. They kind of managed to forfeit the rest of like the exterior that is around a lot of tablets. It's really small actually, like surprisingly small on my desk. Actually, I should prop it up on some books. So I wasn't having to stare down at it the whole time. But the express keys are really, really nice to click. And right, well, let's just get on to the review because I have a lot to say about this tablet. So, of course, the festive part of this video comes from the fact I am painting a Christmas card design here, incorporating my guinea pigs. Biscuit is the smooth-haired, yellow and white. Tiny is the pig in the middle. She is the bi-coloured fuzzy one, and Coco is the black pig wearing the Christmas hat. So let's talk about this tablet and let's talk about the pros and then the cons. So a pro and a con for this tablet is its size, and I work on a 12-inch screen normally. I have the XP Pen Artist 12, which is sort of still my main tablet because I'm very attached to it. But this gave it some fierce competition. The only problem is actually the size of the casing, where if you work with a desk that's slightly lower down, like I do, my desk has two tiers to it. My laptop is on one tier and my actual tablet is on another. You are going to have to like raise this thing up a little bit because there is no way it's not going to cause a little bit of a problem because you'll be looking down. That isn't really a con with the tablet itself, it's kind of a con with my setup, but at the same time, because it's so small, it is super, super easy to transport, like insanely easy to just put in your bag. It is actually way smaller than my Artist 12. which is just going to make it like super easy to take around. So that's a definite pro. It's really well built, I have to say that. Like, the build quality is insane. It's really, really good. It feels very sturdy. It has a nice anti-glare on it, which is just amazing because it means taking pictures of my screen or working with the lights on isn't as much of a problem anymore. It also means there'll be no pictures of my face in it when I send friends previews of my work. And the pen feels absolutely lovely. It's really well made, and the tilt function is fantastic, which is why I decided to do a painting with it. I didn't actually see anyone else mention the tilt in their reviews, so I'm going to talk pretty in depth about why tilt is a fantastic addition to your tablet, but it isn't the most needed addition. So what a tilt function does in a tablet driver is it basically allows you to rotate your pen and the brush will rotate with it, instead of the brush sort of staying stagnant. If you have an Apple Pencil, you'll know exactly what this feels like if you use an iPad Pro. And if you use a tablet with tilt, you'll know why this is great. I have tilt on my iPad, where I do use an Apple Pencil, and it is fantastic for doing studies if I want to get a slightly more traditional charcoal look. I never really put my studies out, but trust me, it's a lot of fun. And when you're using gouache brushes, it lets you get a more washy feel if you're just trying to go for some texture, and it works really well for textile textures for some reason. That's just a really good thing. So here I am using Carl's Gouache Pack, which is one of my favourite brushes in Photoshop. I have been using Photoshop more recently, but I decided to use Photoshop over Clip Studio for this because I know how good Carl's gouache brushes are for tilt, because I like getting that really fine edge whenever I'm painting fur, and that's exactly why I went for this. So tilt is fantastic, and I did say in my A15 review, if Veikk brought out a pen, a tablet that had tilt functions and had a pen that would work with tilt, I would be all over it. And I basically was. I really enjoyed this painting. I really enjoyed working on it, and not just because of the ridiculous Pigmas pun, because it was actually a lot of fun to be able to use the tilt with these brushes. It was really, really nice. The tablet is really nice to draw on when you've propped it up if you have a setup like mine, and I would actually really recommend this tablet. So the cons, and it's a con I put down for just about every art supply, is always cost. The tablet costs around £215 if I remember right, which isn't a large amount, but it is a little expensive if you're looking for a good tablet. If you can't afford that, I would recommend the A15 Pro, but if you can afford it, go for it. It's a really, really good budget tablet. Yeah, honestly, I think I can't really complain about anything with this. I'm trying to think of a con. It was a really good tablet to use. The two things I would add to it if I could would be a dial, like what the A15 Pro has, and I know XP Pen have it in some of their tablets, Huin as well. It's quite similar to the rocker that was, I think, debuted in the Cintiq models, and a rubber on the back, because despite what I said in the A15 review, where I said I don't use it that much, even though I don't use it that much, I'm very used to it, and there were several times while I was drawing when I turned around and sort of just smacked the screen with the end of my pen, thinking I was using my old pen that had a rubber on it. The pen design is really nice, actually. It feels really nice in your hand, it's really nicely weighted, it's quite round compared to the hexagonal design of my Artist 12 pen, which is... It was a bit of a change, but it was really nice. Both of them sit really well in your hand. There's nothing uncomfortable about the hexagonal design. There's nothing uncomfortable about the design of the pen for the VK1200. They're both very nice to hold. The anti-glare is fantastic. Really, really nice feature. I love it. And the paper well, getting my words messed up there, but the screen does feel paper-like, which is really, really nice. The papery feel does give you a really nice drawing experience, I have to say, and it feels very clean in a way when you are doing that drawing, because you're used to that kind of texture. It's even better if you have your smudge guard on, because then your hand isn't sticking to the screen, although I kind of dropped out of using smudge guards, but I put it back on for this review and I was like, wow, I forgot how much easier it was to draw with one of these on. And it does keep your screen cleaner as well, but you do have the little cloth in there for you to clean your screen anyway, so, you know, I guess it's a matter of prevention rather than, you know, sort of cleaning the screen, because your hand isn't going to clean the screen as you go. Outside of God. Outside of the lack of a rocker or an eraser on the end of the pen, I don't think there's really anything else to add. It did throw me a few times when I couldn't press the Veikk logo because I kept thinking it was a button, but I think that is me having two brain cells and nothing to do with the design. The express key is really easy to click. I sat there and just programmed into what I was used to. But it was very nice being able to zoom in and out using my express keys, and it was very nice being able to... They felt, because they were sort of on the edge of the tablet rather than set into the tablet like they are on my Artist 12, they were a lot easier to press because you just had to touch the edge of the tablet rather than reach in, which is once again a small detail like I mentioned when I was talking about the trackpad on the A50, but it's a really useful detail. It kind of, you spend just a little bit less time dedicating a thought to doing that, and it's easier to focus on your drawing. The tilt's really good. The sensitivity on the tilt is really good. I was worried it might be a little undersensitive, but actually it was just right for me. And all I had to do in order to activate the tilt was literally, I just had to tilt the pen and then press, and that was it. The tilt was activated, it had gone through. The brushes didn't turn while I turned the pen, but I don't think they're meant to. But that did throw me the first time. I did it and I was like, wait, is there no tilt? And then it turns out, once again, I have two brain cells, and that is not all what was happening. While I was working on this painting, I did... At first it was a little bit of a learning curve, I guess, where I'm used to a different tablet with a different type of pen, different kind of screen, different setup. So there were a couple of times when I tried to do things like turn the tablet on and I pressed the wrong side of the tablet. Like I said, I accidentally hit the screen with the back of my pen thinking there was a rubber there. And I wasn't used to having a tablet that was so small because it sat lower down in my stand. I did try and use it lower down, but that was a really bad idea and I did end up with quite an achy wrist and neck. So halfway through I set up a load of books and put it on top, and that was absolutely fine. So a piece of advice for anyone using a small tablet like this is maybe just make sure it's higher up on your desk, because it will save you a few aches and pains. Outside of that, there wasn't really any other problems I think I had working with this tablet. Once I installed the drivers, I noticed the cursor was really sort of like way off, but then I activated Windows Ink and it was fine. And then I calibrated it and everything was basically a-okay, so there aren't really any problems there with the calibration, and the sensitivity is perfect out of the box. I don't know how Veikk have managed it, but with the A15 Pro and now with the VK1200, the sensitivity is just ace the second you get it out. I haven't had to adjust it. It's only slightly different to my actual pressure settings that I have on my Artist 12, so I basically never have to adjust it. But if you're someone who's really heavy-handed, you can adjust your pressure curve within the drivers, and it's super easy to do. And I love the driver installation. It's so easy, it just feels so easy where you don't have to go and look for a specific thing, you just have to make sure you're downloading the Windows or Mac drivers and that's it. You're free to go, it's super simple, which I love and I wish every other brand would do. I don't really know if like Huion and XP Pen and Wacom do it, but I really hope they start doing it. Well, I know XP Pen doesn't do it, but I hope they start doing it because it is like the easiest way to set up your tablet. You just install one thing and you're done. You're not worried about like, oh, is this the right model? Is this the right this? Is this the right that? You're just done, you're on your way and you're going. There's no restart required, which is great. I don't think there is any restarts required anymore anyway, but I remember the days of having to restart and it would annoy me so much because I'd have to restart like 3 times to get something working. There's no restart, you just install it and you're ready to go. If you are uninstalling tablet drivers, please make sure you don't have any WinTab files left over, because the first time I installed these drivers, it wouldn't recognise my tablet, and it turns out that's because I had WinTab drivers left over from my XP Pen. So I just deleted those, reinstalled, and we're on our way, which was just really easy. But that is a little thing I'd like to point out for anyone who is not so tech savvy who might have the same problem. There's nothing wrong with your drivers, the product isn't broken, just go looking for WinTab files and you'll be able to find it. So what do I think about the tablet all in all, if you haven't already gathered a good impression of what I think from this video? I think it is a really good bit of kit. I love the design, I love the boxes, I love the direction Veikk have been taking with their boxes recently. Like, my inner graphic designer is very happy. I took graphic design for 5 years and it makes me very happy to see such a well-designed product. The boxes are lovely. Anyway, stop talking about the boxes. So what do I think about the tablet? Yeah, good bit of kit, very solid design, very, very sturdy. It feels very well built. Felt surprisingly well, but I picked it up and it felt quite a lot like the sort of more, like, you know, the newer generation iPad Pros. It had that feel in my hands, which was great. I loved it. And yeah, drawing on it was really nice. The nib was really responsive, it felt nice and bouncy. I didn't feel like I was having to strain to get any pressure sensitivity or tilt sensitivity out of it, and it was super, super fun to be able to paint my little piggies on the tablet, which was, once again, great. So, you've seen the title, and you know I am ranking the best tablets to buy from Veikk from Christmas. So, if you are buying for someone who's more professional, or you're buying it for yourself, because there is nothing wrong with treating yourself to some new things over Christmas, I know I am. I've bought myself some Caran d'Ache luminance. But if this is something you're buying for someone who is in your family who is looking to be slightly more professional, or you're buying it for yourself, I would definitely recommend the VK1200 or the 15-inch version. It kind of depends on your space requirements. If you're travelling, get the 12. If you're not, get the 15. It's that easy. If you are buying for someone who's a little more intermediate, they're sort of beginning to get on with art, you know, maybe they're taking it as an A-level or a GCSE, or they're just making some money off of it and they need a new tablet, I would definitely recommend the A15 Pro. I love the A15 Pro, it's so good, I absolutely love it. The only thing stopping me from using it all the time is the fact that I prefer screen tablets. I basically, at this point, I would marry the A15 Pro. I just adore it. It is literally my backup tablet in case, like, my current one breaks. I have the A15 Pro just ready to go. I love it. I recommend it a lot. I can't remember what it's called now. The dial. That's the word. The dial is fantastic. It's really easy to use. Really lovely pen. I love the pen holder. I just love the pen holder, okay? But I would recommend the A15 Pro for anyone a little more intermediate. And for anyone just getting started, I would have to go with the A15 or the A50. And these might seem like slightly more advanced tablets, but it's my very firm belief if you're starting out, you need something that's at least quality. So I would recommend these because they're affordable, but they're really good quality. They'll definitely keep you going for a couple of years while you really hone in your skill set, get used to digital art, and they're also just great. I don't see why you wouldn't want one. So I would definitely recommend those for anyone who is getting into digital art, or maybe anyone who has a smaller tablet and they think it's a little too small for them now and they want to grab something a bit better. Absolutely the A15 or the A50. They are fantastic. They are really, really good. And I do vouch for these personally. It's not just because Veikk sent me these for free. It is because I genuinely think they're really good bits of kit. And if I didn't, I would absolutely say so. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say on the tablets. So yeah, those are my Christmassy recommendations for gifts. This one has definitely entered. Before Veikk sent me this tablet, I was actually planning to recommend the XP Pen Artist 12, but where it's just a little bit cheaper and I think it's easier to transport, and where Tilt I think is a better... I think Tilt is a slightly better technical need than an eraser on the back of your pen. It was beaten out by the VK1200, which is a little awkward because I've been an XP Pen customer for quite a while, but Veikk have completely won me over with fantastic and cheap tablets. I actually got an A50 for someone I know who's starting out in digital art, so that says everything you need to know, really. So yeah, to summarise, I love this tablet. It is absolutely fantastic, and I know I've done 2 reviews in a row. I kind of didn't mean to, but I totally didn't expect this one. Thank you so much to Veikk for sending me the VK1200. I was buzzing all day after this arrived. I was like, oh my god, I've just been sent a screen tablet to review. Like, if I could go and tell my 12-year-old self you're going to be reviewing screen tablets one day, she would have been like, what? I think she would have exploded or like fainted in shock, because I was like, I was really excited. It was like an early Christmas. I was really excited to review this, and using it was so much fun. Especially being able to create a nice little picture of some of my favourite creatures in the entire world. So yeah, thank you again to Veikk. Thank you so much. It has been fantastic, and I'm so happy I get to work with you to test and review these tablets. Like I said, there's no stand, do be aware of that. And if you do need to plug the tablet in to like a plug, yes, well done, Meg. But if you do need to plug it into a wall instead of into your laptop because you might be missing a converter for whatever reason, these are not in the box. So I'm really sorry, but there are things like that on eBay, and I already had a converter lead from my Artist 12. They are very cheap, you just want to look for a male to female USB. So those are some things to be aware of if you are going to get this tablet. I think they're the only things you really need to be aware of. There's no stand and there's no male to female USB for a plug if you do need to plug it into the wall. And that's it, I think, from me. I think that is all. So this might be the last video from me this year. I also have plans to put up another one in December, but we will see how that goes because I'm very busy, unfortunately, so I can't make videos as often as I'd like. But that is all from me for now. Thank you again to Veikk. I know I keep thanking you, but this has been phenomenal. And don't forget to like and subscribe my socials, as well as links to buy my books are in the description below. And if I don't see you before, have very happy holidays, whatever you celebrate around this time of year. I pray you get to enjoy it to the fullest extent in the current climate. Okay, so that is all from me. I have been Huey's Illustration, and this is Huey, out.